viewers, and welcome back to McElroy's Motors, the home of the weird, the boring, the projects, and the adventures. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You are joining me here at the Mr. Tire here in Hartville, Ohio, on what appears to be a very cloudy day, and that's because the Canadian wildfires are unfortunately spewing smoke into the United States. But we are here to get the new tires for my Eagle Premier to get it ready for the car show that is coming up tomorrow. So it's now time to cue the music. These guys are off to a good start so far. They know I have to plug in my fan manually before I start the car until I get the relay replaced, assuming I can find one. But, whew, it's gonna be a long day. I'm not worried about my seatbelt. I'm literally driving like 30 feet. It is amazing to think that nothing has broken in the mileage I've covered in this car. Still looks as clean as the day I bought it. That sure is a gorgeous Nissan 240SX. Wow. That is a pretty sweet hearse right there. Look at that thing. Unfortunately, one thing has broken on the car since I took ownership, and it's nothing major, thankfully, but it is the CV boot. So it looks like I have to order one soon. Just shy of $200 later, and she is back on the road again. Those guys at Mr. Tire were absolutely fantastic. The car drives a lot better than it ever has. But that CV boot is a worry. So hopefully I can find one. Hopefully, I'm hoping either AutoZone, O'Reilly's, or indeed Advanced Auto Parts has one. I'm sure they do. I do not see it being that uncommon or being completely bespoke to this car. But again, it is a worry. So as soon as I get home, I'll see online if they got one. But man alive, I tell you what, that was $200 well spent because this thing handles so much better. Oh my gosh! It rides a lot better, it's a lot smoother, it's a lot more darty. This is how the Eagle Premier was supposed to be. So comfortable and yet so darty. It is, if I were to say it's amazing, it would be a huge understatement. Was put some new tires on it. It is astonishing just how much of a difference it can make. I have truly missed how good these cars handle. I have truly missed it. And despite the CV boot being on its last leg, I can honestly say that the alignment issues that I've been having with this car are officially over. Thank goodness. Well, viewers, I'm going to head home so I can take a bit of a nap because I just got off an 8-hour night shift. But you'll join me later on in the day where I continue to sand the paint off. I know, a lot of fun. There's a Tesla behind me! Ew! Right, I just ordered myself some CV boots. Advanced Auto Parts had them ready in stock and I'll be picking them up next week. I am genuinely surprised that they are universal fit, and more surprisingly that they had them in stock, given the fact how rare this car is. So, I'll be picking those up next week, but now it's time for me to get home and start sanding. Again. Right, it is now the next morning. It is just after 6 a.m. Just fine, having done a rescue mission for my friend Anthony. He went out to Mansfield, Ohio to go see a concert, and unfortunately his friend's car decided to leave him stranded. So I drove this old Eagle all the way out there to rescue him, and it's been doing just fine. But as you can tell around me, we're out in the middle of the sticks. We're in the middle of nowhere at the moment. I have no idea where we are, just listening to the GPS. But to think this car made it all the way out here on a bad CV boot is frankly astonishing. Well, after a 130-mile round trip, I made it back to Akron. Time for me to get home, take a shower, and head to this car meet. Turn green sometime this week. Turn green, thank you very much. Oh, for Pete's sakes! 2 trains! Right, I am now refreshed. I got my shirt ready for the car meet. As you can see, an Eagle branded t-shirt that I had custom made. And looks like the smoke from the Canadian wildfires is finally dissipated for the time being. Let's just hope it lasts. But in the meantime, let's head to this car meet and see what all the fuss is about. Time for yet another tunnel test. Give me the beans. Oh, that sounds so good. But I tell you what, viewers, this car does remind me of why I love driving. It's not the fact that I had one of these as my first car. That to me is just a bonus. But this car is so rare to the point that people either A, have completely forgotten that this car existed at one point in time, or B, have no idea what it even is. And yet, after almost 37 years of being on the road, this car just gives me that feeling that it wants to keep going. It wants to keep putting a smile on my face. And I absolutely love it for that. Say what you will about the Jeep Gladiator, but I do like these. Coming up here on my left is where I would take a 2010 or newer vehicle to be emissions tested. But because I'm driving around this old car, ha! I don't! Screw that! I'm not wasting my time. I can just renew my plates as I please. Coming up on my right is a place called Continental Sports Cars, which is indeed a mystery because if you look, the cars look like they have not been touched for well over 20 years. And it's true, they haven't. They've been sitting there pretty much untouched since 1999. Why are they sitting there? No one really knows. It is a shame that they're just sitting there though, because honestly, the cars there, inside at least, they have an old E30 M3, they have a Ferrari 308, an old Mercedes 280 SL Pagoda, stuff that just looks like it has not been touched in 20 plus years, and it's a shame, because honestly, those cars deserve to be rescued. And we are making our way into the parking lot. Well, I just parked up, and we definitely have quite a turnout here. We got some more cars in the back row. But this car pulled up as I was putting my car in park. This is a 1990 Dodge Caravan. And this takes me back because my grandmother had the Plymouth Voyager variant when I was growing up as a kid. But this was also the vehicle I learned to drive a manual in. And this one is also a 3-pedal. You can see the shift knob between the seats. But this thing is absolutely immaculate. According to the owner, the gauge cluster was swapped out at one point. So the odometer on this one reads 263,000 miles. But man, I feel 7 years old just looking at this thing. 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle SS. What a gorgeous thing. Oh dear God. Magnificent. I am sorry to say this, as much as I do appreciate a muscle car, as much as any car guy, I do need that hood installation in my car any day of the week. You cannot go wrong with an old Plymouth Savoy, 1963. 426 Hemi. Looks like this thing does some drag racing. Wowie. But have a look at this JDM Nissan SEMA. I've never seen a SEMA, and bear in mind I went to Duncan Imports in Christiansburg, Virginia, the home of JDM cars, and there was not one there. Talk about two cars you do not see in mint condition anymore. We got this Nissan Sentra, which is not part of the show, but it is amazing to see it because you do not see these in mint condition ever this day and age. It is so spotless, not a speck of rust anywhere. And this Mercury Cougar parked next to it is simply pristine. Is this your Cougar, sir?
Yes, sir.
What's the mileage on this one?
39,000.
39,000 miles. God, that thing is so clean. Time to go back to 1998 with that song playing. We got a nice old Dodge here, a Camaro SS, a Charger SRT, complete with a wide body fender flares. Ooh, I think this might be a Dodge Challenger Demon. That thing looks mean. And another Challenger here, a huge Dodge Ram, and a glorious Mustang. Of course, not fully stock, but it is a project. It has four wheels, it has an engine, it's welcome here. Another Challenger, another Charger with a wide body, 392 Scat Pack. Man, this thing looks cool, especially with the graphics along the sides. And of course, the most awesome seat cover I've seen yet. If you don't own one, you will never understand. I don't own one, but I fully understand. We got this wonderful TJ Wrangler from 2000 here. The guy who owns it daily drives it, and he goes to Jeep Jamborees all around the country. And we got not one, but two Nissan Skylines here. Fabulous. Giving these guys a shout out because they need to check out Duncan Imports. And I'm giving them a shout out as well because, like I said, we went there back in November and it was such a wonderful treat. Very tastefully modified NC Miata just pulled up. That thing looks like it could tackle on any racetrack. Looks pretty cool. Anthony, if you are watching, this is your license plate. That is neat.
2.5.
2.5?
Yeah.
Is it the Mazda V6 or?
No, it's Duratec.
Gotcha.
Out of a Ford Fusion.
Wow. Got the cross members. Man, it looks jammed in there, but it fits. What's the horsepower rating?
I have no idea.
Good enough. Magnificent. Just when I thought that Mazda Miata had an awesome license plate, I date moms. You gotta love America for the sense of humor. Beauties, we got this beautiful Mercury Marauder and this stunning Hummer H1, complete with a 6.5 liter turbo diesel V8. And as you can see, it's got inboard brakes, run flat tires, the hooks for a aircraft to carry it. I can only imagine, even running on diesel fuel, that the MPG in this thing must be in the single digits. And there's the engine to the Marauder right there. Glorious thing. 4.6 supercharged? Yeah. Excellent. I've actually never seen a Marauder up close until now. This, of course, shares the platform, the Panther platform, with a Ford Crown Victoria and Lincoln Town Car. But of course, it's been modified to tackle any corner at any given speed. This is an absolutely beautiful 1968 Cadillac Eldorado. 472 cubic inch V8. And believe it or not, this is actually front wheel drive. I love this color combination, as well as the interior. This is so 70s. Truly a remarkable car. Who will take Judge's Choice? Who will win Best Interior? Who will win Most Unique? We'll find out in about 20 minutes. We got the judges walking around now. Who will win? Who will win? I was just talking to one of the judges, and apparently some of the cars have tied results. So the judge I was speaking to was the tiebreaker.
The awards, if you would like to come on forward, gather around, maybe get a little bit closer. We want to say thank you again to Cody Mansfield for his wonderful performance today.
Woo!
Thank you, Cody. We appreciate you. Cody's stage name is Smokeface. If you ever want to check him out on Facebook or Instagram, just search for Smokeface. He's performing 3, 4, 5 nights a week. So he does work here at Valley CDJR, but in the evenings you will find him out in Akron, Canton, and Cleveland performing, sometimes solo and sometimes with his band Blue Smoke. Now the first thing that we want to do today, we are giving away a free oil change. As you may remember, there was an opportunity to win a free oil change. Okay, the lube techs say no, but it's not really up to them. They're happy to do it.
Not with mine, they won't.
So if you brought in a donation of school supplies, you were entered in for the raffle. And the winner of our free oil change is Steve Buzaki. Steve. There he is. Hey, thank you so much for your donation. Guys, through the rest of this month, we are collecting school supplies for the United Way of Summit and Medina County. So Steve, thank you very much for bringing in some school supplies today. All right, we're gonna get a quick photo here of Steve. And Steve, we're gonna have you stay up here because you won our first award. You seriously did, yes. Our first award today is for Best Engine. And Steve won that for the 1969 Chevy Chevelle, that blue one down the line there. So congratulations, Steve. You win your plaque, you win your $100 gift card, Get Go Giant Eagle Market District, and an oil change. He cleaned up. All right. All right, you've reached your quota. Nothing more for you, sir. And our next award today is for Best Interior. And the Best Interior Award is going to go to Paul Suloff for the 1963 Plymouth Savoy MW. And here he comes, sporting his Mopar shirt, dressed for the occasion. Congratulations. Yay. Come on up, we're gonna get your photo. If you do win an award today, we are gonna head over and meet you at your car before you leave, just so that we can get a picture of you with your car as well. All right, congratulations. Yes, don't forget the gift card. Gas or groceries, whatever you need more. All right, and next we're gonna do Best Classic, and this award is going to go to someone that we recognize from last year because he came here last year and won an award then too. And Best Classic is for Barry Ankney. Barry, I hate to make you stand up, but you gotta come on over. Barry won with his 1966 Dodge Dart GT, right here on the end. Convertible, I've been told to add the word convertible here. Yeah, now we gotta see, now you have a streak to keep up. You gotta win next year too. Come on in, we'll get a photo here with Mike. Mike is our general sales manager here at Valley CDJR. Lovely, congratulations, Barry. And you have your gift card? All right, you're good. We'll meet you at the car in a few minutes for that photo. All right, 2 more awards today, most unique. I had a feeling I knew who would take this. It's gonna be Renee Smith with the 2021 Dodge Charger Scat Pack Wide Body. Come on up, Renee. Congratulations. That's the one over there with the Super Bee painted under the hood. Lovely. And now we're down to Judge's Choice. This is the one that just happened to be our judge's favorite. And the winner is Paul Struhar, 1969 Dodge Super Bee. Parked right up here in the front. Oh, Paul, we can come to you. Hang out. We're on our way. All right, guys, I want to let you know, first of all, if you want any more donuts, coffee, lemonade, head over to the Donut Envy truck. We are also going to be having our next Cars and Coffee here on September 12th. So be sure to come up and grab a flyer if you need one to mark it, take it home, and we'll be seeing you again in a few months. Thank you so much for coming over and enjoying this brief period of decent air quality and no rain or thunder. Thanks again, Cody, and we'll see you guys soon. Have a great day.
Well, look at that. Look who showed up. It is Sadie! Well, I didn't win most unique like I thought I would, but you know what? I had a great time, and the cars and the people here were just absolutely phenomenal. Some people said up to me that they haven't seen one of these in like 30 years. Other people were wondering what the heck it even is, and I love that. Just having a conversation about this car means more to me than an award anyway. But yeah, had a wonderful time. Time now to get home and do some more sanding. Yikes.
Later.
Right, I am now back at base, and it's now time for the thing I am looking forward to the absolute least. And that is making love to someone with gonorrhea.
Don't you mean sanding me down?
I meant that. But before I do start sanding, it is quite remarkable that before I started filming out here, that I saw a relatively new Nissan van drive by with its tailpipe dragging on the ground. Figures a Japanese van being more reliable than this old thing. No. Anyway, let's get started on the sanding. I'm going to try finishing the hood and the front fenders today, but I just don't know how far I would get. But that's what we're here for, to tackle it all. Before I also do continue sanding, feel free to subscribe for more content because we are now less than 50 subscribers away from being at the big 1,000. Whoever becomes my 1,000 subscriber will get this piece of my old Saturn sent to them in the mail. As you guys know, I had to change the fender on it because a tree had fallen on it, completely smashing the old fender. I had signed this and it will be issued to you. So feel free to subscribe. Anyway, let's get started on this. I don't doubt this will be messy, but I came prepared. I have 3 more pieces of sandpaper left. Hopefully it'll be enough. Woo, that gets one quick. I will also say this. I also got in touch with a small YouTuber based in the Washington, D.C. area. And believe it or not, he too, like me, had one of these old Eagle Premiers as his very first car. So we are planning on meeting up in Washington, D.C. for the Trabant Parade. And having covered that great rescue mission from earlier, I really do think this car will make it once I replace the CV boots. And I'm really hoping I can have the car painted before September. I want to get myself a new car, well, newish, that would be perfect for road trips. So if you guys have any ideas of what my next road trip car should be, and it won't be another Saturn SL, that is for sure, feel free to jot down some ideas down in the comment section. Anyway, let's get back to stripping the paint away. Okay, I admit, that sneeze was about as real as Donald Trump's attempts of telling the truth. But I bet you a real sneeze is coming. Probably within the next hour, if not sooner. Now, the small YouTuber I got in touch with, his name is Devin. I'll leave a link down to his YouTube channel down below. He had one of these, like I said, as his first car. It was given to him by his late aunt. So I'm not only restoring this car in honor of my grandmother who passed away last month, but also I'm restoring it in honor of his aunt, who was so gracious enough to give him a car for free. Because that is something you definitely don't get. And to have a car as rare as this as your first car is definitely a treat in itself. I don't know what is worse, the dust or all these bugs. It is also very hot out here today. Thank God for hydration. I also want to make one thing very clear here. I am not expecting this car to be concourse or looking brand new once repainted, but I just want it to look decent enough to the point I can not only reflect on the memories of my first car, but just enough to make it stand out. Because as much as I did like the blue paint that was on this car originally, the amount of fade and missing paint to places just made my OCD go rampant. Even after all this time since I've owned this car, I am still in complete shock that I actually own one of these again. I have owned 3 others in the past, like I've mentioned in my YouTube shorts, but after the 3rd one, I thought that was it. It was game over. I would never own one of these again. So, huge thank you to Brian, the previous owner of this car, for really looking after it, because honestly, this car has just been so great to own. When I hit the hood to dust all the dust off, when it gets in front of the car, it kind of looks like smoke is coming out of the grill, which is definitely a scary thing, especially if I'm not wearing glasses at the moment. But old car, what can you do? Complaining does a whole heck of a lot of nothing. Oh, this dust is getting to me already. I should wear a respirator, but this is McElroy's Motors, the home of the weird, the boring, the projects, and the adventures. Therefore, respirators are completely irrelevant. Time now to start working on the fenders. This sandpaper definitely works a lot better than the last sandpaper I bought. Don't get me wrong, I was able to get more surface area, but this stuff is definitely more durable. This was a wise investment. Now, my grandfather may argue with the fact that with me doing all this sanding that my car looks like it came out of a scrapyard somewhere. But like I said in part 1 of this vehicle's restoration, I'm going to call this the ugly phase. And I am just glad that the car is no longer on the spare tire because it frankly looked so hideous. But I know this car is going to come together one step at a time. Whew, that paint is getting my eyes. Fun times. I'm sure in silver this car is going to look absolutely remarkable. And like I said, I don't want it to be a show winner or show stopper. The fact that it's still on the road in itself should be a showstopper in its own regard. But whew, that dust. Wow. Thank God this paint is not lead-based, it's all acrylic. Everybody at the car show I went to earlier today said that Chrysler paint of this era was not the best quality. I can see why they would say that. And no, I am not going to use Bondo or cheap materials to get the paint resituated on this car. I want to do this right. And as such, I do know my neighbor a couple houses down, he actually paints cars for a living. He has done several cars, including a 1984 Ford Ranger and a 1971 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. Both look phenomenal. In fact, the Ford Ranger is still being used as a daily today. So I do trust him, and he's been in business now, God, for 20 plus years. He's been doing it since before I moved to this neck of the woods, when I was like 4, 5, maybe 6 years old. So he knows a thing or two about automotive restoration. This car is now 50 Shades of Gray. 50 Shades of Blue. Is that the Smurf edition of 50 Shades of Grey? Viewers, I'd rather you not answer that. Alright, that's the driver's side fender dealt with for today. I'm going to start working on the passenger side fender and maybe the remnants of the passenger side front door. And then I think that'll be all for today. Whew, this is taking way more time than I thought it would. But that's okay. I'm not complaining. Not complaining. Not complaining. Okay, maybe I am complaining a bit because it's so stinking hot out, but then again, we're approaching the dog days of summer. So, perfect time of year to sweat your balls off with sanding. Sanding. Yes, sanding. As Jeremy Clarkson said in the Top Gear India special, you don't need your penis. Just sweat it all out. Everything else comes out naturally. Time now to do some edging of the fenders. Ow! My hands are turning colors! Ah! I'm dirtier than Pigpen from the Charlie Brown cartoons is. Whew. I'm dusty. I'm not sure if my shirt's doing any justice, but I am dusty. Dusty, dusty, dusty. On the right side, I'm starting to see the primer now, so that's a good sign. And yes, I do plan on priming and rust-proofing this car because I'm OCD. Okay, that's not the reason why, but because I want to protect this car as much as possible. So I'm kind of OCD, but whether I am or not has to be seen by a professional, and I don't need a professional to help me with this. Okay, maybe I will admit I am a little OCD. It's okay. It's okay. So much dust. It's see. I just realized I left the windows down. Nothing to see, everything's fine. Might be a little dusty, but everything will be fine. If there's one thing I love about this car is just how much that Chrysler took credit for, because this car has the Cuyahoga badges, which this car being a 1990 was the final model year of those Cuyahoga badges. In 91, they switched over to having a small Chrysler Pentastar logo right here instead. As if Chrysler saying, yep, we designed this car, we swear we did. Yeah, give Cuyahoga absolutely no credit. That sounds like the proper way of how to sell a car. It really does. I'm gonna end up breathing like Darth Vader by the time I finish this. I didn't realize I was using two pieces of sandpaper at the same time. Not sure if you can see the dust on camera, but if I'm using both pieces, then so be it. It's not really bothering me. I can always get more sandpaper later on. But I'm gonna leave the car at that for now, because it's so hot and I don't want to spend all day sanding this car, especially with my friend Alicia inviting me out to go swimming with her. So I'm gonna leave this video at that for today. But on that note, I want to say a massive thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for more content if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you guys in a video in the future where hopefully I don't become as dusty or even more dusty.
Don't count on it.
Okay, that's inevitable. But I'll see you guys soon. Bye! Hubnut, do not sue me. Do not sue me, Hubnut. Do not sue me.